Alright guys, let's dive on into what happened in this week in World of Warcraft. First, I've been liking to start these videos off with a little bit of Mythic Plus, tips and tricks. At least that's been consistent with people going around kind of talking about what they do and how they handle it. But today we're going to talk about the Yes Men right before Goldie Berry Bottom in Cinderbrew Meadery. That is where your fight is you kill one, then they all re-heal, and then you kill another, re-heal, and so forth, so on and so forth. But there's a special way that you could be doing this. So first off, put a marker, preferably skull marker, X marker, so all your party know what to attack and when to attack, because you can funnel all the damage into the one, repop it, be done. Now, if you have a priest that's, rolling around in your group, Dominate Mind, I'd recommend trying, because that'll help, and they will not get the field promotion buff that once you kill the other ones, that the other ones keep giving to all of them. So Dominate Mind, keep it on your side for a little bit, and then finish up the weaker one at the end of all four of it. Now, there is a special way to do the last tip and trick. I haven't done it personally. I have read about it on several occasions, but you can distance the field promotion so they don't heal and they get rebuffed. So that would maybe take in somebody that has an off taunt that can take them across the room while your main tank is on the other side kind of dealing with the other group or a single one that's left. So definitely some tips and tricks out there for Mythic Plus this time around for Cinderbrew Meteor, because that is a favorite of mine with the music, the bosses, the bees. They can't get any better than that. If anyone out there is pounding away at the Mythic Raid, be happy that they did finally, well, I was going to say I think it's been weekly, but they have nerfed Mugsy and Gallywix a little bit, and I saw some other ones also, that some damage reduction, life reduction, all those kind of things. So if you're still chopping away at that Mythic Raid, congratulations, you're still doing it, because I'm not a Mythic Raider, but kudos to you, and they're just trying to help you out a little bit so you can finish it up and then get back to the Mythic Plus scene. This week has saw some class updates and changes and buffs and nerfs and a mix of both. Starting with Demonology Warlock, I know a friend of mine is going to be thrilled, yet kind of reserved a bit, because the numbers were higher and then they scaled them back. So at the end of the day, Demonology Warlock is still getting a buff across some couple spells, odds and ends, but they probably did it too much and had to realize that 30% could be 25 and 25 could be 20. So definitely something there for you Demonology Warlocks out there. Death Knights, I say this with an open heart and open hands, because I just did start leveling up a Death Knight. I thought, hell, why not? Let's start something I've never played. If you've watched any of my videos before, I have not dabbled with Death Knight or Rogue, so definitely not a Rogue. And I started with Death Knight, trying Unholy because it's top of the charts and amazing in Mythic Plus, but they did take some time to buff Blood and Frost, something maybe we'll see some other people start playing those specs again. I love Blood Death Knights because of the grip ability and they pull them in and all these things. So when you got a really skilled Blood Death Knight, they're rocking and rolling, and Frost has always been up there. So we're just trying to get them back up to normal. So maybe I'll be able to juggle between 2 or 3 specs in my up and new Death Knight. Along with Demonology Warlocks, the Druid has received the Kiss Curse, where, they get some increase and some decrease. That will be, I will be linking all of this below so you guys can go check out the article on Wowhead, because right now, here's a shocker for everybody. If anyone thought the Augvoker was still existing, it is still a playable spec in the game. They got a little bit of a buff. I don't think it's enough to make them a viable play again, because, I would love to see a world where a support spec is there and useful, but I think they need to do a couple more and not just one. So we'll see how that goes down the road, unless they fully just give up on that Augvoker and be like, wow, throw it out the window, it was a good effort. But we'll see. And just a little quick, other buffs included Mage, Monk, Paladin, Priest, and Shaman, and a little bit more Warlock. So that'll be in the link below, so you can go check it all out if you play one of those amazing specs and classes. A little bit of fun on the PTR if you're digging into the Flames, Radiance, and that white and black look of all the recolors of the sets from the Arathi area. You now get a new toy at Renown 6 worth 5,000 of those Resonance Crystals. But he's a cute little Lynx that brings you your mail if you didn't buy the Brutosaur or anything like that, or you just want a different way to get your mail delivered by this precious looking Lynx. Yeah, I'm going to be getting that Renown 6, 5,000 crystals. I think he's definitely a cool buy, and a little bit of a useful toy if, you can't mount up to get your mail. Like if you're inside, you can just summon your little Lynx buddy and he'll just have your letters there from all your fans, and you get to read them while you're waiting for the raid. This one, though, this next thing that they've found on the PTR, it specifically currently hitting marksmanship hunters, because you know, they get the ability to have like a spotting owl, like bloodlust, something like that, or eagle, whatever it is. I don't play marksman. Considered it for a quick second, but that ain't happening. But definitely, like, you're seeing glyphs now, because currently it's an eagle in the game. But what better race do people like more than night elves and anything elf related? So the glyph has been found that you can turn that eagle into an owl. So definitely something cool. And it looked like 2 versions, so pretty cool. My only hope about glyphs is we just bring them up and bring them back full force, so we actually get some customization to our characters. You know, Hunter, personally, Survival Hunter, has been very lax with some of the glyphs, but I know when I start new characters and just stupidly leveling up that, you know, I go buy those glyphs because I want a little bit of customization. I want a little bit of a different look and look like I actually care about my character, as opposed to just, you know, going with out the box and just playing. So fingers crossed, guys, that more glyphs will come down and Blizzard is listening. Hear me. No, I definitely would love more glyphs, a little more. I don't know how hard they are to make, but we'll see. Now, just a quick rundown of all the overall things that are kind of going on. Mop Classic is going right into beta, so make sure you sign up for that if that is something you're interested in. I know we just had the time back in Mist and Pandaria right before, I think, the expansion launched. Kind of cool. I know people did like Pandaria. I hope you guys continue to like it, because it's something that they're going to put, that Blizzard is putting their time and effort into, to make sure that we get all our classic experience back the way that we remember them back in the day. If you are a Season of Discovery player, Phase 8 is out live, and you know, it's starting, the more I read about Season Discovery, it interests me a little bit. You know, when I went to BlizzCon back in 2023, they'd reference Season Discovery and kind of like different play styles. It's looking like it could possibly be a full-fledged new game for Blizzard to focus on and have the team, because it's getting, you know, a lot of focus and people are playing it. So why don't we just continue the story? If I'm a betting man, it looks like this could be the new What If Classic. You know, if they did what they planned back then, or like new islands were discovered. I think they have a lot more play with that low, I'm going to say low budget classic versus retail now. So like quality, you can do a little bit more for a little bit of cheaper and a little bit more forgiving in that classic realm. So who knows what that's going to become. I think this is just going to be a full play style of, you know, another avenue for Warcraft players to be there. And I don't know, maybe I'll dabble in it. I doubt it, but I really hope it continues on for everybody out there that does continue to play it. And the roadmap, I'm going to say roadmap for 11.1.5 is out, with the release of it starting to begin April 22nd. So that's next week. I will be doing a video side on that, because it's getting some, you know, joy and some sadness all kind of mixed in there. So I'm going to go over each line by line and kind of talk about my opinion, and we'll see how that looks, you know, April 22nd. And guys, that's everything that me, you, we all have missed in the last week of the Warcraft news. So until next week, guys, I'll catch ya. See ya.